What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. I have some breaking news to report to you guys from the political world, and that is that former Vice President Kamala Harris, who of course lost her bid to become the first female president last year to Donald Trump, who is once again president, she has announced that she will not run for governor of California in 2026. Now, this comes amid speculation as far as her political future is concerned. Now, this is just my opinion, okay? I think that she's not interested in running for governor because she, A, does not really want to become governor of California. Her goal, even though she says that she's not focused on political office at this time, she wants to run for the big one. You know, she's not at this point in time, in her mind, looking for a demotion. She wants to run for the presidency. Now, if Donald Trump had, say, and in politics, a year or two is an eternity, but if Trump had like, say, 70, 80% approval rating right now, you know, if his numbers were like in that realm, especially as we get close to 2026, then yeah, I could see her running for governor of California, because then she could say, well, look, 2028 might not be my year. Let's wait until 2032 and let's see how things are going. But then again, you also have to be concerned about her age. She's not elderly by the standards of what we've been electing recently, but I think she is, 62? Well, I think she'll be 62 this year. I think she's 61. So by 2032, she would be, closed in on 70, 68, 69. So, I mean, by comparison to what we've been electing recently, that's not that whole, but still, I think she wants to be free to run for president in 2028 without having the excuse that she's governor of a state. Basically, what I'm trying to say is she don't want to run for governor just for the sake of having an elective office so she can sit upon and then just automatically just run in 2027 and resign from the governorship. You know what I'm saying? Like, that would just seem like you just ran just to have an office to say, oh, look, you know, I'm sitting here in the governorship just so that I can conveniently have an office to step from and run for the presidency in 2028. It just looks kind of careless. Like, basically you're saying fuck you to the California citizenry that elected you. You never really wanted to serve the California people. You just wanted to have an office to run from. So to avoid all that bullshit, I think she's just going to stay what I think she thinks may be best for her, and that's to be an open critic of the Trump administration. Because you can see the way the political winds are blowing. Trump's approval rating, their numbers are dropping. He's never going to go too low because he has a base behind him. But if that base gets to certain critical numbers, there's not going to be enough across the board to elect or keep this narrow Republican trifecta they got right now, which is Republican or conservative numbers in the House, Senate, the executive branch, and judicial branch. You know, you're not going to see that. So her best bet, I guess, if she continues the way that she's going, is she wants to be available for the 2028 presidential race. Now, the thing about that is she could make a pitch to some, right? And I'm just speculating here. When I say to some, I'm talking about the powers to be within the party, the donor class, okay? The hierarchy. She could make a pitch to some extent like, look, I was forced to run an abbreviated campaign of 111 days. Um, I was rushed into it. You know, Joe Biden put all the blame on Joe Biden. We had to cover for Joe. He had a horrible debate performance that set this whole thing in motion back then. This time I'm ready. I'm going to be prepared. I'm going to be a better candidate. I think we're more organized this time against Trump, blah, 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 yakety schmackety, right? That's her best bet, I guess. Me personally, I don't think that she would get the nomination because one thing that I notice what happens with people in this country is we tend to, after a while, when a person's out of the spotlight, we tend to start looking at them through rose-tinted glasses. Like right now, you got some people saying, well, was Kamala that bad? I mean, really? Yeah, she was. She was that idiotic, okay? And at the end of the day, I think she's going to try to run again in 2028. I think she'll run again. If she's still here, she's going to run again. Now, whether or not she gets a nomination, I don't know. But I think she's going to run. The problem is with her is that Democrats, when you look at history, when a Democratic candidate fails, for the most part, unless there's certain extenuating circumstances like Ally Stevenson, where he's run up against a fucking war hero and you just don't really have anybody better. Usually when that candidate fails, that's it for them. They don't get a second and third chance. You had Ally Stevenson. Yeah, you had William Jennings Bryan, but those were special cases. You know what I'm saying? For the most part, when you fail, especially as epically as she did, with 85% of the media behind you, I don't see it. Now, it can also be argued the Democrats really don't have that breakout candidate now. They don't really have that star. Bernie Sanders is old. Okay. I like AOC, but I don't like a lot of what she stands for. But I like her. And I want to like her, but I just don't think she's electable as far as the presidency. But I do think that on the issues, she's far better than Kamala Harris. But it's her policies that I think are going to hurt her as far as being a mainstream candidate. She's too left of center. But, as far as that Madison Avenue / mainstream candidate that can appeal to mainstream America, that has the backing of a broad swath of voters from the Democratic side of things, man, I just don't see that right now. And that's the only reason why Kamala Harris is still in the picture. And that's not a good thing at all. It's not. Both parties are fucked over, in my opinion. Both parties are in a fucked up situation. Because when you look at the Republicans, I mean, who do they have after Trump? I mean, J.D. Vance? Talking about this guy that wears eyeliner and made up a fake name? J.D. Vance isn't even his real name. Matter of fact, sometimes I wonder if his oath of office for the vice presidency is even legal. did he legally change his name, or is that just like some pseudonym he goes under, like an author? But anyway, that's all I got to say about it. What you guys think?